chance. Villareal, Europa League champs. In a shootout that goes all the way to the goalies. You don't see that all the time, no? Yeah, that's not every day. Wow. Yikes.
I'm not okay.
Yeah, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. A yellow submarine. Wow.
Oh, they're playing. I didn't realize it was Man United.
That was a tough final.
ManU, Villareal, Europa League champs. Wow. That's tough. That's a bad break. De Gea.
I'm rattled. I'm shook. I can't believe that went that long.
Yeah, that's anything after like 7 is just you've gotten a lot. You got all your money back from those tickets if they go to
I guess
7
you did,
PKs.
right?
Oh my god, that sucks.
10 PKs.
Yeah. Oh, they shot all 11. It took until De Gea.
Fucking losing to Unai Emery, who couldn't even take Arsenal to the top 4.
Oh, and there it goes. They're etching it into the trophy. That sweet sound of metal engraving. Wow. The
I lost to that fucking
the
guy.
backup netted it. Oh man, he ripped that PK. That was a great shoot. What I saw, I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was a very good shootout.
Yeah. The commentator's saying it got better every time.
It did. They were placing those like every. I can't even use words. Every Villareal player put it like in the hardest spot where De Gea couldn't reach it, and it was just the craziest thing I've ever seen. That was a fucking masterpiece. What just happened, and you know what? I'm very upset. I'll move on though. It sucks.
Oh gosh,
This sucks.
Yeah.
Listen, it wasn't a great 120 minutes of football, was it? But that penalty shootout was
Yeah.
quite something.
Oh my
What a-
god.
One thing I do know is that I never in my life
Yikes.
sit through another shootout.
Well,
Jamie Carragher and Micah Richards.
yeah, goes all the way to 11. Almost came back around. Yikes. ManU. No trophies this year.
So where was that game?
It was in Gdansk, Poland.
Yeah.
It's a neutral site.
Neutral site.
Neutral site, but neutral site meant that a couple Man United fans got stabbed yesterday. Or is that today?
That was today before the kickoff.
Before the game, a couple United fans in a bar just got run up on, attacked.
Was it just for being Man United fans, or did they just happen to be?
They were
Man
probably
United fans?
starting fights or something. Saying
Yeah.
some shit. I'm not gonna put it past anyone to.
But it wasn't the attackers were not identified as Villareal fans, so
Interesting.
they were not Spaniards out for blood. I think they might have just been some crazy Poles doing what crazy Poles could do. Yeah. Wow. That's it. That's the cap on that United season. Full of ups and downs.
It was a roller coaster of emotion, topped off by an absolute heartbreak.
Yeah, that's
vintage. Is this what it feels like to be an Arsenal fan?
probably. Wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either.
All the way this close. Always on the edge. Always a bridesmaid.
Always a bridesmaid, never the bride these days.
Yeah.
For the boys in red.
So I
Too
think
bad.
it's safe to say you bet on Man United, right?
Nope.
Oh,
you didn't?
I didn't.
You kept your
Oh,
wallet
wow.
free
I
from
kept
this.
my
actually
heart
love
was
that.
my heart was too into it
that's
to
wise.
put any money on it.
That's wise.
I would have been a lot more upset.
Good for you. Yeah, then that just makes it 10 times worse. But 10 times sweeter when they win.
Yeah, would have been nice.
That's the beauty of it.
Could have been us, but it wasn't.
Coulda, shoulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda,
Well,
woulda.
other than that, gentlemen, how are we doing? I know we're down a man for the time being. Our co-host Arby is running a little late. We got
Rush
some,
hour traffic.
Yep.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Right. Can't really beat it sometimes, I
Yeah,
guess. But
stinks.
yeah. What? How you guys doing? How's everybody holding up?
Living large, living large.
Doing good, man. Getting baked by the sun a couple days in a row.
Yeah, it was
not
hot,
too bad.
hot, sunny today. Humid.
Yeah.
Very humid.
Right when you walked out of the door, you knew it was going to be a hot one.
Yep.
Oh
One of those.
100%.
So
Interesting.
I ain't complaining. I'll
I'm
take
not complaining.
Ready
I mean,
for
I
summer.
am right now, but I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Our soccer league's gonna start back up. Like,
So now all the seasons are over pretty much
In Europe.
in Europe. MLS is still
Yeah.
going on, and now about a month from now we'll have
June 10, less than a month.
June 10th, less than a month. Next Thursday, 2 Thursdays from now, we'll have the first game of Euros 2020,
Let's go.
2021.
And then I think a month after that is when the Olympics start.
It's
That
actually
Olympic soccer is going to be a little.
it's
There's
actually
an
like
overlap.
it's actually like a week after the Euro final to the start of the Olympics. So there's a lot of soccer coming up, and then in August it's right back to the Premier League and right back to all the
Everybody else
all the European leagues.
starting back up.
I told my roommate this the other day that it's probably the longest season for the shortest off season for any kind of athlete, really, if you think about it. You know, you're playing from August till May if you're lucky, and then you get 2 months off before you have to report back to.
And some
camp.
players, I mean, international duty exists in all
Yeah.
sport, I suppose, but
Yeah.
it's a long haul for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So with seasons wrapping up, it was a tight one down in Spain. Atletico Madrid held on at the end. Luis Suarez with a goal to seal the deal, get them that title. Suarez leaving Barcelona last year. He went over there for cheap money too.
He did.
Wasn't much. It was like 9 million. I don't remember the exact figures, but not a ton of money for a league title the next year.
Yeah.
So Barca
I mean-
looked a little foolish there, but they just got a verbal agreement with Gigi Wijnaldum today. So
That's gonna be good.
I guess they're trying to find their way back.
Yeah, it
They
was
wanna-
kind of Barcelona did to Suarez what AC Milan did to Pirlo. They said he was too old to play in the.
Oh, and then sent
then
him off.
Sent him off, and he won a championship right after the
Yeah,
season after. It's
immediately.
kind of poetic.
Yeah. Yeah, you doubt me?
Yeah. Doubt me?
Bad idea,
I'll
yeah.
win it. I'll win the La Liga.
Bad idea.
I know. But how was that? How did you like that NBC coverage of the final day?
Oh, it was all over the place.
It
It
was.
was magic.
I loved it.
It's great. Well, I mean, every game playing at the same time. They can zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
It's like Red Zone.
It is like Red Zone. It's amazing. I was watching on Peacock.
Yeah, and you
So I
don't
could
you don't
switch.
get that. You don't get that every Saturday, Sunday.
no,
that
you
Red
don't.
Zone coverage.
No,
style.
every game was on Peacock where you could watch. It was perfect. It was amazing. I had a really good time. That game, that Tottenham game. Oh my God.
Yeah, goals galore in that one. No.
Goals galore. Golden boot for Kane.
Yeah.
Bale with 2 off the bench. He's a scoring machine, getting right in time for Euros, getting his mojo back.
The Welsh qualified. No,
I think the Welsh should qualify.
they're gonna be in.
Yeah, let's give the Golden Goose a gander here. I'll keep talking. Unfortunately, Villa beat Chelsea 2-1, but Tottenham beat Leicester 4-2, which keeps Leicester into 5th place and keeps Chelsea in 4th. It's kind of a win, but at what cost
Yeah,
kind of thing
what-
for Tottenham.
At what cost?
They-
But
they-
yeah, and those Dragons are playing. Wales is
Yep. Wales is a good
Yep.
team. They'll be
playing
a good team.
Italy and Switzerland and the Turks.
I'll do a too early to decide winner for the Euros. I think it's going to be Italy. They're a young team. They got a lot of talent. I'm not biased.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna get into that more.
Yeah.
Probably next week and following up.
Look at this handsome fellow
Yep.
over here.
And we got Mr. RB.
RB joining in.
The traffic broke. The seas parted. Here he comes.
Look at that ice on that watch. Oh my God.
Yeah. So
$4,000 watch.
yeah. Big bucks around here. But yeah, so we were watching the Europa live PKs. That was a doozy.
You guys got to watch it?
Yeah,
I was-
so
Caught it at the end
jealous.
here. It was special.
How did
But
it
yeah,
finish? I didn't even get to see yet.
Villareal winning on PKs. De Gea missed the last one. They went to 11 shooters.
To 11
Wow.
shooters.
Yeah. Yeah. But now we're back to the Premier League, talking a little about Championship Sunday, some of the things that went down. And another champion, too, should note, crowned on the last day, I guess, a goal-scoring champion, setting a record, was Robert Lewandowski of the Bundesliga. And that's a shorter season. There's fewer teams in that league. So to score 41 goals in a slightly shorter season rather than in like Premier League, La Liga, some of the other big leagues in Europe, 41 goals is just comically good. He's crazy. Got one in the 90th minute. to
It was
get number
insane.
41. A classic. And I think he had a couple assists too.
Yeah. I am.
Well,
I'm shook.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
boys. I'm settled in now.
Nick's still
I'm
reeling.
here.
Nick's still reeling.
Yeah, I'm still upset.
While we get into, you know what game I kind of want to talk about?
How does that affect you, Nick? What does that look like?
It's just an emotional. It's nothing I can recover. I can recover from
Still
it.
gotta go to work tomorrow.
Did you want to win this game that badly? Was it super important to you, or like
It
where
was-
does this fall?
I think it was super important for Ole to finally get a trophy for Man United. He's been on the cusp. He's been to 4 semifinals last year, didn't win any of them, and now he made it to a final this year and fucking lost.
Wah, wah, wah.
Hey, third time's the charm. Hopefully next year
Yeah.
we're back in Champions League.
Too bad.
Next thing you know,
Too bad. Too bad.
too bad. Day late and a dollar short.
It's the way she goes.
The way she goes.
Friggin' way she goes.
So catch me up then, boys. What are we on here?
We're just hitting Championship Sunday. We talked a little about that Leicester Tottenham game. Kane with that golden boot, and Bale just putting in some work, getting his feet back under him, scoring goals.
Nice to see him coming off the bench and playing with that kind of
Super sub.
tenacity too. He was just faster than everybody. You could just see it.
He's got friggin' jet fuel in those legs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a hell of a game. I was not expecting that. Where'd you guys watch Sunday?
I was watching in my apartment because it was too hot to go outside.
Comfort in my own home.
Nice. I was out at brunch and they had on the TV right next to me. So I had the PGA Championship, Sunday on
corner.
one, and then I had
Phil Mickelson
Champions
doing big things.
Oh, dude, it
Shout out
was
the scramble.
it was awesome. Yeah,
Shout out to the scramble. Shout out the lefty
Yeah,
and all other lefties everywhere.
I'm one of them.
Yeah,
That's
it was
me.
a big win for lefties.
You know who I wish was a lefty? David.
Yeah, I think the coolest part about Sunday was how fun the coverage was.
Oh my god!
Like, I
Red
felt like
Zone.
I was watching Red Zone.
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
I could.
awesome.
That was unbelievable. The whole thing. I was screaming the whole time, and everybody was getting mad at me. I was like, "You can take my phone away from me," but like the TV's right there, and I'm just yelling.
Yeah. I hope they do something like that for the Euros on that last day when everybody plays at the same time. Those 3 games at once. That would be cool.
That would be so cool.
I'd love that. Instead of having to flip back and forth.
I would love to see if there's some way. I think that in order to get the U.S. into it too, like that would be something. Like
Yeah,
if
like
you were to get something where
Red
you
Zone
could
coverage every weekend of Premier League games.
Premier
I'd be
League, like it just
all in.
bouncing around. Like granted that the times aren't
Scheduling,
always the
yeah.
same, but still, like there's a bunch of games on at the same time.
You could watch 3 games at once.
It would make the attention span of people in the U.S. is not the same.
For this
So,
game is
yeah.
slow.
Insane.
So
For
like,
this game is
and
not.
especially in a slower type of game, yeah. So like, I mean, the ones that aren't scoring that much, you don't have to really watch it.
Yeah.
You'll get so many new fans, and that would be so cool. I'd love to see that. Yeah, but speaking about that, I know that we talked about. I think when I was talking about that game, Tottenham and Leicester. I was like, oh, whatever. Leicester's gonna be fine. They'll still get
You put the
champions.
RB jinx on
I think
him.
I absolutely like I reverse jinxed my Tottenham Spurs.
Yeah.
They just came out firing, and now, sorry Leicester.
Yeah.
Hey, they still got European football.
Yeah,
though.
they'll go, but I mean, they were sitting pretty.
They were in
They're
third
okay.
place until last week.
Yeah, they were.
It's safe to say Leicester might be the new Sevilla. Just Europa League. Hopefully they can win one.
Yeah, and then break through.
Break through the Champions League.
get in there.
Finally.
Yeah.
It'll be like 5 years. We'll just save this for 5 years from now.
Yeah, yeah. It was fun because I was having people hit me up because Tottenham's out here all of a sudden. They're winning, and then Villa starts beating Chelsea. Everybody's like, "What are you doing? Why are you winning? You're gonna let Chelsea, like that's supposed to be your rival, you idiot. Why are you rooting for them?"
Hey, made it happen.
I was all
I
in
called
for
it though, Villa.
Yeah.
Villa.
Yeah, the villains.
Dude, they Traore has been so good.
He's a monster.
And,
He's a monster.
And it's just fun to watch him play against the old squad. And so
Oh, yeah.
he was all over the place.
Yeah.
The goal he had was filthy. He could have had a couple
It was
others.
So nice.
It was filthy.
It's funny because Tammy Abraham, the Chelsea player, he was a former villain, and he actually might end up going back there next year. We'll see. He's a great player. If they had Tammy Abraham to their lineup, they're they're a top 7.
Yeah,
for sure.
they're a team that like every time I've ever watched them, for some reason they've won. Any game I've watched them play so far, like this year, they were games that they won, or they scored 3 goals and maybe drew. But like what is it that's holding them back from being good? Like what's the drawback? Because they look so fast,
A back line.
and just so clean. Just the back line.
Back line. Yeah. Would have been nice if they had a nice back line.
Yeah, I mean it's tough to stay consistent too when you
Yeah.
don't have the depth
Yeah.
like the biggest teams do. Like when you need to win every game by playing the starting 11 90 minutes, it's not going to last over the whole season.
So you'll see that.
Yeah, and then so when you might not have as deep of quality on the bench coming off, and it's slowly but surely, or it's again, it's nice to see these mid-level teams, these Premier League staples, but they always finish in 10, 11, 12. Sometimes they break up to 8 and go maybe 7, whatever. But it's nice to see that 4, 5, 6, 7 is always up for grabs now. Before it was always a given. You knew it was in whatever order: Liverpool, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Man City in the last few years. Liverpool. I don't know if I already said that, but it was always going to happen.
Worth saying it twice.
Yeah.
They're back in it now.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Tottenham was always kind of sniping near the top. There were always other teams kind of hanging around, but it was you could always guarantee the top 4. Now you can't.
Yeah.
You just can't, because like Leicester's breaking through. You got a bunch of teams shaking things up.
And now if you're trying to get into the sport and you're a relatively new fan, now is a good time to watch, because it's kind of unpredictable. You really don't get a good shape of the table until probably February or maybe late or early March. You know, it's the entire season's up for grabs until a certain point, and then it's, you know, can your team hang on?
And that's exciting.
And that's even more exciting.
It's going to be fun to see kind of what happens with some of these teams, who who goes where. We start talking about what happens in the off season a little bit. Talking about losing Kane, the way that team looked against Leicester, that was a Champions League team, and they went out there and just absolutely dominated them in the second half. The only 2 goals that Leicester had were PKs. Like, come on,
PKs.
and he put them in the same spot both times. You know,
when
it's
it
just
works.
like,
When it works.
yeah, don't mess it up. So yeah, it'll be definitely interesting. It was nice to see things come down to the last day and have Sunday mean
It's always exciting.
so much.
It's always exciting.
Did you get a chance to talk about the little hooligan mashup that
Yeah,
happened?
Well,
Man,
was it hooligans? We just thought it was crazy pulls, but it could, because the story I had read was that it was not necessarily Villarreal. Villareal fans. It was not Villareal fans. It was just attackers, which makes me feel like it was just locals. And Nick made a point. It might have just been some English fans just having a few too many pints, maybe chirping some people, saying some mean words to the wrong.
The interview that you sent out group said that they came in like wearing like black masks and stuff, and like they tore that place up, and it was all where ManU people were, like that team. So like it was clearly targeted against that fan base. But I mean, it might not have been Villareal. It could have just been some other team that went out there, and they were just like, "This is our chance," because
Some
we
people
know
just-
nobody can travel, and they're
wanted
just
to
get
bust
after it.
up some United fans.
Yeah, I mean,
Violence
one
is
would
not
like
the
to.
answer, folks. Violence is not the answer.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
I
The
didn't like
violence
that one.
that's in Nick's eyes right now after losing
Yeah,
that
he's
game,
mad.
I'll tell you.
You're just mad. It's okay.
I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm trying to hide it.
I forgive you.
Yeah, we forgive you.
Sorry.
can't forgive anybody
Hey,
right now.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's a stinker.
He is a stinker now.
He's good. He's really good, but he also can suck really bad. Remember that year? What was that? 2 years ago, where he couldn't save a goal. He couldn't save anything.
Yeah.
Things were just going through his legs, through his hands.
Yep.
He was just laying eggs left and right.
Big
I think
time.
it was that year that City hit like 100 points.
It was 2017, 2018.
Yeah. And
you know what?
He couldn't do a thing about it. He had nothing. He had no answers.
Yep.
And I mean, he got his mojo back, but
He did.
I still don't where he once was.
Yeah.
Not where he is
From
now.
2013 when he signed to now, like every mistake he's ever made, I'm you know, and I can forgive him for it because he's kept us in the race so much.
That's the thing. He can stand on his absolute head and do some crazy stuff that you don't see anybody else doing.
Yeah.
But it's
a hit or miss.
It's
a hit or miss.
With a streaky goalie, like that's a gamble. You don't want streaky goalies. Streaky forwards, that's okay.
You know what? They should have pulled what
You can
the
shoot
Dutch
yourself
did
out.
in the World Cup. Switched out goalkeepers for the penalty shootout.
Yeah. Tim Krul.
Interesting.
Tim Krul is a maniac.
Yeah.
He was the
saved like
West
three.
Brom goalie, wasn't he?
He
Newcastle.
was Newcastle for the longest
Newcastle
time.
goalie,
Yeah. I used to love I always played as Newcastle in those FIFAs.
I feel like you can do that more in hockey because it's
an
more
absolute gamer move.
I guess it is still a skill set though too, because like being able to read somebody like how it is that they're coming in, like if they're really showcasing what they're gonna do with it.
Some people are just smart, and some people it's just like honestly
You're
too,
just
some people just have intuition.
Yeah,
they just kind of know, and whether they study people or do whatever it is that they do.
So I was listening to the game on my way here. And they had Peter Schmeichel, former United goalie.
Legend.
Schmeichel. His son is the Leicester goalie, Casper
Schmeichel. Leicester legend.
They were asking him his strategy for penalty kicks. And he was just like, I wouldn't do any studying on any of the players. I would go left once and then right, stay in the middle, and then left 3 times. And that was my thing. And he had a terrible record for PKs. And I was like,
was
De Gea listening to that? Because he fucking missed every single one of those fucking penalties.
it was like, so you just decided to, you were, no matter what, you were diving to the left.
He goes, it gave me a sense of control. And I was like, dude, you
idiot.
You were the fucking worst.
Dummy.
That sounds like me when I'm playing FIFA. Like I'm playing rock, paper, scissors, shoot against the person who's doing the PK against me. You know, it's like rock, paper, like papers to the left, scissors to the right, rocks just standing in the middle.
Yeah, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. I hate that. How can you walk into a PK with a formula as the goalie? Yeah, it entirely depends on the guy walking up, lefty, righty, whether it's like a skill guy or like a power guy, like everything. Everything depends. Of course it depends. Holy crap. That's
that's sad to hear.
I mean, I'm really glad he was good at everything else, because if he was measured on his PK ability, then that sounds like he
wouldn't have been legend.
Nobody cares.
Oh, Schmeichel.
Wow.
That's hilarious.
That's the real Schmeichel Scott move I've ever heard of one.
Little breaking moves here. Zinedine Zidane to leave Real Madrid. Immediate effect.
Okay, they're done.
They're done.
Sayonara. Kiss them goodbye.
Pack them in.
Yeah, I mean,
La Liga 2. Here we go.
No La Liga. No La Liga title this year. They did get the
Copa del Rey. Yeah. Copa del Rey. Cup of the King.
So they got one. But I think that Champions League semifinal was super underwhelming performance by them.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
And maybe he just wants to get out. I mean, it's got to be weird going back to your old team, having all that pressure from you being a legend of the club already.
Yeah.
And then I think he's a good manager. I think he's smart. I think he knows that game better than most.
Yep.
Sometimes it just doesn't work too.
Yeah, he'll land on his feet. I'm not too worried about Zinedine Zidane's prospects. Maybe he'll come to England. Who knows?
Well, I mean, speaking of that, it was Chelsea that took him out. So, speaking of the champions, are we trusting them? Did we talk ourselves into this?
We haven't gone there yet.
No, I put my City shirt on today.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm staring at it. And I'm like, so is that a sign of defeat?
Watching, it's very flamboyant.
Yeah, it's the alternate. It's the purple with the lime green.
I like the purple
because I like it like that. I do have the sky blue. Don't worry, and the old alternate black and yellow Carlos Tevez.
Those things are sexy.
Umbro. Hey guys, I liked them when they were still Umbro. Okay.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
So is that indicative of your feelings then of champions?
That's your feelings today.
Yeah,
right.
You decided.
I think they're the better team.
Yeah,
I was open. I was open to thinking of the alternative.
Yep.
But the last couple weeks, kind of just. I mean, they're just too deep.
Yeah, I mean, City's secondary team just absolutely ripped. I mean, that was a rout.
That Townsend miss though at the beginning.
Yeah,
that one hurt. If he scored that,
different game, but
different game.
But he didn't.
Almost
then-
only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, folks.
And then they just put a clinic on.
Oh
And
my God.
they're not going to do that. I'll tell you that much. And it's going to be super close game against Chelsea. It's not going to be a rout by any standard, but I think they're riding this high. They're feeling good.
I
With a
think
title in
A
hand.
little too cocky.
I'm talking myself into Chelsea. You know
too.
what?
So,
I'm doing it. I'm taking them.
I'm taking Chelsea too, and my buddy from school texted me this, who's a avid Chelsea fan. He goes, with a player like Conte in form in our midfield, he can definitely control the game. Pair that with Pulisic, Mount, Havertz hitting their stride at the right time. Midfield attack is a force to be reckoned with. Pair that with our great defensive structure and Mendy and net. Kind of hard to break down. So long as Chelsea stay strong in maintaining their shape and counterattacking, they proven over the last 2 to 3 months that their counterattack, although not the most efficient, can be deadly.
It sure can.
Yeah.
And against a team like
City,
I mean,
pushes forward so much.
that's how they got their goals a couple weeks ago.
In the goalie matchup, I'm taking Mendy over Ederson
Yeah.
all day.
The one thing I think Ederson has in spades over most people is that
Tattoos on his neck.
He did. neck tattoos. 1, 2, distribution out of the back. They are deadly when he threads those. When he hits it right, I mean that it was in the Champions League semifinal, right?
Yeah. Oh
that
my
was
God.
one. That was what 3 touches to a goal in the box. Like when that hits, we talk about Chelsea's counterattack. City can break out of the back
Without
at
a problem.
lightning speed when he hits those pinpoint passes, and he can do that 9 times out of 10. Will that happen? We don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
But if you talk about Mendy with that too, you know, he does a lot back there at goal too, not just with the crazy saves and his length, but the communication that he has and moving his guys around. I think that he's kind of top notch with that as well.
Absolutely.
So that kind of gives him a little bit of an edge because he just sees the game. He sees where people are moving and he just asks you to get into the right spot. And I think that matters a lot. And I think that's helped Chelsea out in terms of preventing some of the goals. I'm curious to see kind of what's going on in end of the Premier League. They kind of really just like fell off, and I'm wondering,
Pittered out a little.
yeah, like if it was just like, you know, the juice wasn't there, they got a lot riding on this game. Like if they were just afraid to give it all for this part here, and they were saving themselves, they've been something different this year. I mean, City obviously just an absolute dominant force, but sometimes those, I don't know, they still haven't won this yet either. So like,
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
like they've been this dominant before and they've yet still to win champions.
It's all to play for.
So we'll see kind of how that plays out. But I kind of like what your buddy was saying, that controlling of the middle field, you know, midfield. I mean, De Bruyne is obviously the god. Like the way that he plays the game,
He's
we've talked
crazy.
about, he's
He's crazy.
stupid good. But
It's
Conte's
outrageous.
fast, man. He moves around. He controls the game just as much. If he can keep the ball out of De Bruyne's
he's a horse.
feet,
He will run you into the ground.
Yeah.
And that's a huge part of their tactics and his game. I mean, that's part of the reason why Leicester City won that year. But the thing is, Chelsea beating Man City, looking back with a little retrospect here, I think gives Man City an edge.
Yeah.
If you beat Pep Guardiola twice in May, you should be knighted or something like that. Like you should be like hailed honors upon you.
Tuchel might be knighted then.
But if Tuchel can do it, absolutely hats off to him. But I think that it will be very difficult to outsmart, outclass, and out tactic Pep Guardiola twice in like 4 weeks or whatever it was, with the depth that he has, with the it's just riches. It's laughable what he has at his disposal. And I think that he's gonna do enough to make a change to not let that happen again.
who do you think is going to be out there for the starters for Chelsea? So they're the ones who've, I think, moved it around the most from like who their consistent starters are.
Yeah.
Like, do you like does Pulisic, does he start, or are they going to take him off the bench in this?
I kind of liked him as the super sub last time.
I kind of like
And
it
I think
too.
he's great. He's better off the bench than he is.
And you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that goal. At the end of the game in the second half, you know, like you're gonna need that goal. It's going to be a slow-paced game.
Yeah, to save it for later.
Exactly.
Kind of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean, it's great to
100%.
have that early, but like, I don't know, you get a guy with his speed in there kind of late. You know, guys, some of the other guys are going to be a little tired, and allow him to kind of get that space. I think that's huge.
It's going to be deadly. He's going to be deadly if he gets room to run. And I mean, it's those fresh legs late in the game, and it's not just fresh legs, it's Christian Pulisic fresh legs. But I do think City are going to have some answers for that. I think like the midfield is going to kind of be cognizant, not let themselves get pulled up too much. I mean, De Bruyne always has his kind of freedom to run. I think we'll see Fernandinho. I think they're going to go with the old guard. I think they're going to stick with a guy that's done it a million times, that they have faith in. I think he is going to be, if he has a good game, City wins. If he gets eaten up, if he gets chewed up in that midfield, all bets are off, and it's just going to be a bloodbath. But if he can shore things up there, I think it's going to be a lot harder for that Chelsea counter to just break out and just go running full speed. Because you know that Silva and De Bruyne and maybe Gundogan, I don't know if he's going to get the nod, but I think they're going to pretty much have full reign. Gundogan over Silva.
I think
You got to play De Bruyne.
we'll play De Bruyne. I think they're gonna go for a more midfield heavy.
Gundogan, Fernandinho.
Yeah, they're gonna go for
Less
definitely gonna
skill,
go for-
more
more ball,
more
more
strength.
control, more strength, more control in their midfield. So to make sure that what happened to them
last time is not
time
going
is
to
not
happen
gonna
this
happen.
time.
Like it's gonna be De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Gundogan, and Bernardo Silva in the midfield, and then you also have Rodri coming off the bench. And you can also have a couple of their attacking players or a couple of their wing backs definitely
Sliding
hop up.
back, yeah.
Couple they might have
Well,
wing
they're gonna
backs,
need
too.
to.
Yeah. John
Oh yeah, they
Stones
could
at
go
the
for
back.
they could go for the
Oh my Lanta.
5.
Yeah. They could definitely go for that.
Yeah, interesting. I'm looking at their lineup right now from FA Cup, in that final, and Chelsea's lineup was a little bizarre in that. Werner up top, Ziyech, Mount, but you don't see Pulisic on here at all. Gerrard, they both came off the bench. Same with Havertz. So again, it looks like they kind of went with sort of their older guys in that one too. So
I mean, experience does count for a lot in a cup final.
yeah,
But at the
I don't
same
know.
time, if you don't know nothing, if you have nothing to be afraid of, that also
And I
helps
feel
you.
like a lot in my mind, like the experience is good, but experience is something that you want at the end, right? Like you want the experienced guys there when the game's like on the line, like the very end of it. Like you want to start off with some of that firepower,
energy,
that high energy, those kids who haven't been there yet because
Yeah.
they don't know what it's like to lose yet.
Yeah.
Like they're out there just trying to score.
Everything to
You
prove.
go out there to settle in, to park that bus
Yep.
if need be, or to move things around and slow the game down for some of the guys who are getting a little too antsy at the end. And so I'd rather have some of the old heads out there off the bench.
Yeah, that'd be nice. City, I mean, this is the first time City has ever been to a Champions League final.
yeah, first
So
trip.
It's gonna be interesting. Chelsea's been there before. They know what.
City has one, I think, the old UEFA Cup.
Yeah, the old one.
Yeah,
It's different now. I'm not taking it away from them, but
but that's been their only prior European honor.
yeah, I don't know. I
And
mean,
Chelsea. I mean, that
Chelsea was won one before.
but that was Didier Drogba
That was prime
winning
Chelsea.
That was Didi
DD Drogba.
just laying pipe on that final. I mean, that was such a
His
nice
header.
header. That was so good. And then
So that was an absolute
and then
laser.
who was it? Ivanovic in the Super Cup that year did the
Oh,
same
yeah.
thing.
Oh yeah.
Did the same thing. That was crazy.
Oh my god.
Two headers at the death to take 2 big titles.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is going to be a late heroic kind of match. I mean, the way that it looked last time, I don't think it's going to be as open. I think it's going to be fewer goals. I think we're going to see a little cagey
Yeah. So
kind of
we-
game here. Because City are not going to want to give up the ball. City are going to basically try and possess this game to death.
Yep.
And I
So-
wouldn't be surprised if they hit like 75, 80%.
Yeah. So are we thinking the under for this game? It's 2.5.
I think that, I don't know, what we've been talking about for all these games, basically the under's usually the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's, unless something crazy happens, which
unless
God knows it could.
It definitely probably will.
But I don't see this being a 3-2 final.
I'm saying
being
like maybe like a 1-0.
1-0,
1-1 to penalties or
Something
1-1,
like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? 2.5?
Yeah, it's at 2.5. I think it opened up at 2, and it kind of moved itself to 2.5, but it got wicked juiced underneath. So it's like the best you could get at 2.5 was -170.
Yeah.
So they were like, a lot of people were kind of betting because you can get that push at 2, 1-1 game. So they were looking at it like that. So now it's like you got to get that third goal.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think that the Citizens take it.
Yeah.
So-
I'm looking at the difference in the lineups from the FA Cup. So when they played City the game before, the only differences was they had James and Chilwell. Looks like those were the only two differences. They just had him. They had him in different spots. James played against Leicester, but they had him at looks like at left back instead of midfield. So they played a little bit of a different set. Same set. They just had him in midfield for some reason. So those are the only differences that I see in their lineup. So I'm wondering. Yeah, it looks like Alonso played over Chilwell, and then I'm not even gonna try to pronounce half these names. So
Azpilicueta?
yeah, I was trying to pronounce that earlier today, and I was just like, you know what, I gave up. I was like, I'm done. I was like re-listening to somebody say it, and I was like, I'm just not getting it.
Very American.
Yeah, that's me. There he is.
Our Anglophone.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like those are kind of the only main differences there in the lineup. So that'll be interesting to see again if that's what they're gonna keep with. Yeah, so why don't we jump ourselves back in then to, now that we're talking about some of these lines, to what it was like for us for the weekend. Get into some VAR.
I did pretty well on the weekend, I'll be honest with you.
I did as well.
I did very well.
I don't even have to hear the want with that because Daddy did well this week.
Up units.
Yeah,
I went 5-4 this week. The only want I deserve is having the Wolves and United at the draw. Yep, hit it. Yeah. Well, it was looking like that in the second half when Wolves equalized. United couldn't really find the back of the net, and I was just like, oh, here we go. I was right. I'm loving life here.
Yeah.
No dice.
Other than that, though, I did pretty well.
Yeah, I took the Tottenham over. That hit nice and easy.
Yeah, way
By
over.
the time I was able to grab it too, it was all the way up at 3. Minus 135, and I was just like, ugh, I'm taking it anyways.
Whatever.
Yeah, but Harry Kane was up. His, I think, last week when I was on, when we were talking, it was at plus 120, or it was minus 120 for him to score anytime goal. This one was plus 120. I was like, I'm tossing on this. I put a nice 2 units on it, so that was easy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then Tottenham, I took them money line. I told you I was going to do it, but I got soft. I did half a unit.
I did it too, but I went a full unit.
Nice.
Big dubs there.
So
yeah, the only ones I lost Liverpool
Crystal
on a
Palace
draw. Yeah, Crystal.
I got that one too.
Crystal Palace, man, they could have scored early.
Yeah,
they could have scored early. They had a couple chances, and that game it could have been easily turned into a draw.
Yeah,
very, very easily. Then I had Man City over, Chelsea over.
Had that.
Both of those hit, and then the Brighton Arsenal. It almost worked out exactly like we said. Like it could have come down to a little bit of a draw. Arsenal, they do score. We knew they were going to put up 1-2 goals at least.
I did bet the Arsenal Brighton draw.
You did take the draw.
Took the draw.
It was worth it. They had plenty of opportunities in that game, and they stuck around. It wasn't like Arsenal beat them up. So that was it. They easily could have got a third goal there. I was
100%.
I was kind of sad. I was watching it bounce around. I was like, bounce over to Brighton one more time for me, just so that I know.
Just a garbage time goal. That would have been nice.
Exactly, and it very easily could have happened. But no, all in all, plus 4.63 units.
I was plus 364.
Nice. So. That's a good weekend.
It was a good weekend for the boys.
Not half bad.
Yeah. Looking ahead for this weekend, we got the championship final and the Champions League final. 2 different things. Just to clarify.
Yeah.
So Champions League. So Andy over here has City all the way.
Yeah, I'm taking it.
The greater Manchester citizens. have the win, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly, it makes sense. They're the powerhouse. I see Chelsea's money line over here at plus 330
That's
though.
good.
And I'm
That's
like,
really-
I just
that's
there's no reason not to.
daunting.
You know what I mean? Just take it. They're here for a reason. They played.
Yeah.
They can easily win this game.
No
and
doubt.
at that kind of money, you got to take it.
Why not? Hell,
I'm taking Chelsea money line.
Yeah, I'm taking
100%.
money line.
I convinced
That's-
myself
just
to
get
do
jacked
it.
up.
I wasn't ready for it, but now I'm ready.
Yeah,
Go
I just
Chelsea.
ready to commit. I'm ready to commit on that.
hey, you know,
and then
I-
your Brentford boys are
My
there.
Brentford Bees, baby. Watch out now.
That was a team that you picked last week. You said that you think they're gonna be the one that wins it all.
This is their year.
They're
I
gonna
like
win their
the
way
Swan.
in.
I just like the Swans. I don't have much
The
to back that up.
Swans.
just so you can say the
I'll be
Swans.
clear, but I love those Swans.
Yeah, I was
That
looking
black
at
and white. It's just a classy uniform.
It's classic.
They've got some. They had some good
That's all
players
right.
when they were up in the Premier League too. I like them.
They were up a couple years ago,
Yeah, they've bounced back and forth
Yeah.
over the past like 8-9 years, give or take.
but
It is
you were saying Brentford's never been there before, right?
Brentford's
yeah, it
never-
could be
So
there.
that's-
They went, Brentford
That's
was there
huge.
last year. Lost to Fulham. Heartbreaker.
and Fulham just stunk it
Fulham
up.
stunk it up.
Stinkers.
So now
Boo,
it's
Fulham,
Brentford's
boo.
time to come to the Premier League.
Yeah,
Times
and just
now.
upset some folk.
I saw on the app FOTMob.
Shake it up.
They
It's a very close.
they were
head-to-head
voted
battle.
68% of the people voted that they were gonna win.
I mean,
over Swansea.
it's
so,
the Brentford Bees.
yeah,
That is a great name to even root for.
you're loving that as a Boston Bruins
What about
guy.
the Swansea
waiting for them to
Swans?
No,
Battle of the names.
Swansea City
Battle of the
Swans. It
names.
just doesn't sound as good as Brentford Bees.
play. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah.
And then last game, just for fun, I just saw that USA plays Switzerland in a
Yeah,
friendly.
the Spice.
Yeah, so that's
Sunday
Cheer it
night
on.
or Sunday
Cheer it
afternoon.
on.
yeah,
Sorry.
Sunday
Fury.
afternoon.
I'll put money on that for.
I had a
cheering on the score.
couple friends who were kind of psyched up to see this USA team play this year.
Yeah,
a lot of
just-
young
it'll be
guys.
nice.
I hate
Big
Greg
team.
Berhalter though. Greg Berhalter, if you're listening, just resign. We don't want you. Go back to Columbus.
We'll take Joaquin.
Yeah, he's that USA team leaves a lot to be desired.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll get into that
Soon.
Soon.
It'll definitely be fun to get into. We got less than a year before it
Yep.
kicks off. So
Oh yeah.
Yep, and then so
Yeah, that's about it. Sorry for the quick episode today, folks. We all have previous engagements, so we just tried
make it
decided
happen.
wanted to
So we
make
have
sure
one
that we were
today.
here for you guys.
yep,
On
and
the latest news.
we'll see you next week. Wrap up this Champions League final. Start looking towards those Euros, folks.
Let's all be on Chelsea's team. We're all rooting for
Root for
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
We need
Root for Chelsea.
Good night.
All right, guys.
Later.
These are the linemen.